Hey, house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 22 updates and spoilers. What's good? It's Monday. We have two special house guests of the day today, WWE Demon Diva and Chris Schmidt. Thank you both so much for the support. We could not do this without you. We appreciate it so much. And I also want to thank Carolyn Harmon and Catherine B for the awesome mail. Carolyn sent us these amazing wooden puzzles, which I'm obsessed with. Thank you so much. And Catherine sent us the cutest Halloween cards, so thank you both. You're amazing. What's going on? Hello there. Yeah, I know. Okay. So we all know, or we all should know that there was not an episode of Big Brother last night because they've changed the Sunday episodes to Mondays, and now I'm like so stressed because obviously, like, we have to watch tonight's episode, but also, like, Monday is Dancing with the Stars night, and I need to see it. I need to see my dancing. And, yeah, I guess, well, also, like, today the Yankees are playing. It's the playoffs. It's very exciting. We still have an episode of Great British Bake Off to finish. Like, there's a lot going on tonight. So I don't know if we're going to get to everything tonight, but yeah, I did hear. Yeah, you guys are saying there's supposed to be football on tonight, which is like, blah. Who cares about that? But I don't know. It sounds like Big Brother's not going to be on until after football, which is very upsetting. I don't know. Usually, sometimes they'll have it on another like CBS affiliate at the regular time, but I don't know if that's the case tonight. We're going to have to look into that because that's going to be a pain in the butt to have to wait until 10 p.m. to watch tonight. Anyway, I want to thank, don't say screw the Yankees. Go Yankees. But I want to thank all of our super chatters from yesterday because you guys are amazing. And we could not do this without you. So Mary Patricia Dorsey, Adley Bruges, Ashley Barnett, and Essie Aviles. Thank you so much for the support. You're awesome. And I see we already have some super chatters for today. Jody Cortez, Jessica B, and Anita Starr. Thank you all so much. You guys are incredible. All right. So let's get started. Okay. When we left off yesterday, Tyler and Christmas are up on the block. Cody won the power of veto. He's not going to use it. And the target has gone from Christmas to Tyler. Tyler is now the target. I mean, that could change again, but as of right now, he will be the one leaving on Thursday. Okay, so Nicole and Cody were chatting in the backyard, and Nicole says everyone should just assume that they're going to win this whole thing if they're sitting next to her in the final two, aka, please pick me, take me to the end because you'll beat me and it'll be great for you. But she's, you know, obviously she wants to make it to the end because even if she gets second place, that's still like a huge amount of money. So she's figuring, like, I'm a former winner. I haven't really done much. So, like, everyone should just drag me to the end. But, I mean, depending how bitter the jury is this year, dragging Nicole to the end could mean another win for her. So who knows? But anyway, Cody says, I don't think anyone has any idea how much you've done in this game. Okay. I will say, like, it's not like she's done nothing, but, like, has she played a win-worthy game? Okay. So Nicole says she can't wait to do her goodbye message for Tyler. She's going to tell him how badly she's wanted him out for so long. And she says, it's not going to be nice. And I won't get his jury vote. Of course, again, she's pushing that she wouldn't be getting his jury vote because she wants people to take her to the end. So Nicole says Tyler is the slimiest snake that she has ever played with. Do you guys think, I don't know, like, slimier than Paul? Because I guess Paul wasn't as bad in his season with Nicole. He was a lot worse in the season after. And when I say worse, I just mean, like, sliminess. But obviously, he's really good at this game. But Nicole says, I'm a cute little garden snake. But Tyler has poison. Ugh. I saw a snake on our bike ride today, and I almost peed my pants. Like, I freaked out. But anyway, Nicole asks, do you think that Tyler got to Enzo about me and you? Because they're really worried that Tyler is going to start spilling all of this information on his way out. And they don't want Enzo worrying like, oh, Nicole and Cody are like really close, so I need to keep Tyler to go after them. They really don't want that to happen. So Cody's like, no, I think we're good with Enzo. And it seems like they are. I don't think Enzo is worried at this point about splitting up Nicole and Cody. Could be a mistake. I don't know. So then Nicole is asking, well, do you have a final 3 with Enzo and Tyler? And Cody says, we did. Triple threat. He says that's why Tyler was so bent out of shape about me nominating him, because we were in like a final 3. Who did he not have an alliance with? I mean, really. So Cody says Tyler really only brought it up during Enzo's HOH and then never said anything else about it. And he says, like, Tyler is not my boy. And he feels like he doesn't really owe Tyler anything at this point anyway, because Tyler didn't talk to him during triple eviction about voting out Nicole. He didn't even ask him about that. So he's like, you know what? Nah, we're good. We're done. So that triple threat thing is over. So then Nicole is saying, you know, Tyler would definitely take Enzo to the final 2 over you. And Cody agrees. He's like, I know. Trust me. Like, Tyler is going this week. And Nicole says she just loves that Tyler and Christmas voted against her like that during the triple, because it just showed everything. And I feel like there's also part of Nicole that's like, oh, they did this to me, so like I get to play victim again. Like, do you guys get that sense? Because I'm kind of feeling that. Anyway, Cody tells Nicole he really needs her to win this next HOH competition. And Nicole's like, I know. That's my one wish. And they get back to talking about this week and this week's eviction. And Cody says the more stuff that he's hearing about Tyler, the clearer it's becoming that he's got to go. Nicole agrees. She says they should blindside him, or else he might say a bunch of crap in his speech, meaning facts. I mean, let's face it, a lot of the wall yeller information, like the stuff that's been called out in people's eviction speeches, like that's facts. But people are just choosing to ignore it. So Cody doesn't think that Tyler is going to be like that on his way out. I mean, honestly, Tyler is probably going to take that last chance to plug his jewelry line and Angela's cookbook. All right. So Nicole says she's annoyed because Christmas hasn't even campaigned to her yet about her vote this week. And Cody says that's because Christmas is super confident right now because she feels that she has Memphis and Enzo. And she doesn't feel like she needs your vote. So, yeah, Cody says Christmas is going home next. Like, after we get rid of Tyler, she's out of here. And he says, you know, just let her enjoy her week now. She's had a false sense of security or confidence all week, and it's going to catch up to her. They are, like, really bothered by how comfortable Christmas is on the block right now. And yes, like, they are keeping her, but it is eating them up inside that she is not freaking out the way that they want her to. Yeah. So after, Nicole was sitting alone on the patio, just like studying the days, going through them. And then she says out loud, like to the cameras or to herself, whatever, she says, I need everyone to think I'm by myself. I have nobody. Help. Okay. It's ridiculous. I mean, you're so close to Cody. Come on. You're working with Enzo. Like, Enzo saved you from being evicted during the triple. Like, obviously, you have people. I just feel like it's kind of ridiculous for her to be claiming that she has no one when she's won, like, 0 competitions this season. So I just feel like if somebody goes through a whole season without winning anything, chances are they're protected by one or more people, right? Or else they would probably end up being a target at some point. So, yeah, she has people. But anyway, Tyler comes over to chat with her, and he says, I didn't want to bother you. I don't want to come off as insincere. But he says, like, I want to stay. And he asks Nicole, do you know how you're voting this week? And Nicole says, I don't know. I'm pretty sure, too, she was saying earlier that she's just going to tell Tyler, like, straight up that she's voting him out. But, like, he asked her about it, and she was like, I don't know. So, yeah. But she says, I don't really have anybody at this point, so Oh my God. Sure. Okay. So Nicole says, neither you nor Christmas have talked to me about it yet. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. She says, I'll do what Cody wants. Like I gotta talk to Enzo and Cody and see what they're doing, and then I'll know. So Tyler says, I want to go farther in this game with you. And I only did that stuff, that's the kind of sketchy stuff against you in the triple, like voting you out and putting you up on the block, to try and get out Danny. So Nicole says, it makes sense for people to keep me around because I haven't won anything. So, like, of course you should want to keep me around. So Tyler says, you just haven't had your day yet. You could still win stuff. You just haven't had your day. So then Tyler also says that he's alone now. I guess in a sense, like he is more alone than Nicole is. Cause I mean, he's with Christmas, but they're both up on the block. So like somebody's going to have to go. Right. Yeah. And I mean, everybody left except for Enzo is with the committee. So that doesn't matter at this point. But Tyler says Christmas and Memphis are super tight. So like you could have me who's got nobody, or you could have Christmas still stay here who's super tight with Memphis. So Tyler says he's going to try and have fun this week no matter what. Okay. So then Christmas was talking to the cameras in the key bedroom a little later. And she says, this is a hard week. One of her allies is going to go home, and that decreases her chances of making it to the final two. But she said she's also having a hard time because her son's birthday is on Thursday and she's missing it. So she says, I really hope that I win that HOH. Just gotta hope that Nicole doesn't win it. She feels like she would be okay with everybody else because she's in the Wise Guys, or one of the Wise Guys alliances. So Christmas even says maybe the boys, meaning Memphis and Enzo, will throw the HOH competition to me. At the final five, I need to bring back a special guest for this moment. Are you shitting me? You think they're going to throw the HOH competition to you at the final five? This is not season 19. Let's leave that in the past. But anyway, Christmas says that she's hit a little bit of a rough patch. She's not happy with how she's performed. She wasn't happy with how she performed in the Power Veto competition, which we haven't seen yet on the show. But she says, I just need to do what I know I can do in these competitions. And she says if she wins HOH, she's going to put up Nicole and Cody. And she has said before that she would want to keep Nicole, which I think is definitely the right choice, right? You got Nicole and Cody up on the block. You better be getting rid of Cody. You better. So yeah, I think that's a good call on her part. Okay, so later, Memphis and Enzo have a game chat in the HOH room. And they agree they're going to wait until Thursday to tell Tyler that they're voting him out. They've been telling Christmas that they're keeping her, and she's still kind of like going crazy. She's not like blowing up or anything, but she's just constantly asking them again and again, like, am I good? Like, do I have your vote? Do I have your vote? And it's really annoying them. So then Memphis says next week is going to get interesting. He says, we got to get rid of Nicole so we can get the Wise Guys, both Wise Guys alliances, to the Final Four. That is Memphis's dream. That's what he wants to happen here. I think that's dumb. Like, you're going to take out Nicole and go to the Final Four with Christmas and Cody both there? Like, Enzo, I mean, yeah, Enzo's a threat, but like compared to Christmas and Cody, what? But yeah, Memphis is saying he would like to get rid of Nicole without pissing Cody off. Because, of course, Cody is going to want to bring Nicole along. But Memphis doesn't want that. So he says the best situation would be if Cody is up on the block with Nicole, because then he wouldn't be able to vote. And he wouldn't be like, keep Nicole, because that would mean that he would be going. So he feels like that's what he wants to happen. And he says it would work perfectly if Christmas is HOH, because if she's voting, she might want to keep Nicole and take out Cody, which would be the right move. But at the same time, like, there would be two people voting next week. So if they really wanted Cody to stay and Christmas voted him out, couldn't they just like vote Nicole out and then go to a tiebreaker. But whatever. I guess they don't want it to come to that. But anyway, I just feel like Memphis would be an idiot if he had Cody up on the block and didn't take him out. It's just crazy to me. But yeah, that would be really dumb. So anyway, Memphis does not want to be in a situation where they have to convince Cody to keep Christmas over Nicole. Like if it was Christmas and Nicole on the block, or if it was like Memphis and Nicole up on the block, or anybody with Nicole. He's saying that's going to be a hard sell to make to Cody. Yeah, that's not happening. Cody is going to keep Nicole. So Enzo says, well, I'll just talk to Cody and tell him, hey, I kept Nicole for you and Memphis during the triple. Now you got to do this for me and get rid of her because she's a champion. Enough now. Enough. Like, it's too much. She's got to go. So we know that Enzo is always telling everyone else what they want to hear, but I think that he would want to keep Nicole over Christmas if it was the two of them up on the block, because he's going to have a much easier time beating Nicole in these final competitions. However, he could be worried that Cody would take Nicole to the end over him. That is a possibility. So Memphis says Nicole's going to go next week as long as she doesn't win HOH or Power Veto. I don't know about that. All right. So then the rest of the night, Cody and Nicole were complaining more about Christmas's false sense of security. It drives them nuts. They hate it. And Cody's like, we could just like vote her out if we really wanted to, but they're not flipping the vote or anything. He's just saying like, we hold your life in our hands, but we're choosing to keep you. So yeah, it drives them really crazy. But again, Nicole is really annoyed that Christmas hasn't asked her about her vote yet, and Christmas acts like this game revolves around her. That's funny coming from Nicole. So then Cody is saying he really wants Nicole to win HOH and take out Christmas, but this is where it gets interesting, because Nicole says she'd rather send Memphis out over Christmas. Like, as much as Christmas is annoying her, she says Memphis is smart. He is really good in competitions, physical and mental. And I have to agree, like, it would make way more sense for them to take out Memphis and keep Christmas around. But Cody says we'll figure it out when we get there. All right. They agree that they're effed if Christmas wins HOH, because she will definitely be putting the two of them up on the block. Oh, hell yeah. All right. So then the feeds were in and out throughout the evening. For a while, we got 4 cameras on Nicole studying in the have-not room by herself. Honestly, it just seemed like they didn't want to show anyone when they were outside. I don't know if they were like trying to dodge wall yellers or what, but that's just the vibe that I was getting watching that. So late last night, Enzo and Tyler had a chat in the photo bedroom. And Tyler's like, yo, I talked to Cody and I told him if he doesn't use the veto on me, I'm going home. And Enzo's like, what did he say? And Tyler says he just said the same shit that he's been saying, which is like, I don't know. So then Tyler says, I talked to Nicole and she was telling me that she was going to, do whatever you and Cody want to do. So like, have Nicole and Cody told you anything? And Enzo says, I got to talk to them more. He says Cody is undecided about what he wants this week. No, he's not. Okay. So Tyler's like, oh man, I think I'm going. He says, if Cody is telling me that I'm good and he's telling you that he's undecided, that's not looking good for me. It's true. It's not looking good for him, because Cody's actually been telling Enzo that Tyler should go. Okay. So Enzo says there's still days left before the eviction, and Tyler agrees. He says he's still going to try. He's going to try and stay. So Enzo says, if I get to the final 2, I'm going to have the speech of all speeches. Oh, is it just going to be him going like, enough already. That's it. That's what I'm envisioning. And honestly, like, I would love it. But yeah, they talk about Enzo's chances in the final 2. And Tyler says, to make your chances better to win, like, you're going to need to win a few more competitions and kind of like make some moves here, getting to the end. And Tyler says, I think you could beat Memphis and Christmas A lot of people don't like Christmas. She hasn't played that great. And he says, I think it would be a little bit tougher for you to beat Nicole. She's not really done anything, but she was aligned with a lot of people. She could win an HOH and take out Memphis, and then she'd have some cred with the jury, and then there you go. Like, she's winning the whole thing again. So Tyler says your best chance would be against Christmas or me, whichever one of us stays. So they agree that they don't think anybody could beat Cody right now. Yeah, Cody's game right now is looking really good. So again, like, if they have the chance to take out Cody and they don't do it, like, they all deserve to lose. So Enzo says to Tyler, if you go, I'll probably go next week. Come on. No, that's not true. Okay, so then today, they had the power veto ceremony. As expected, Cody did not use the POV, which means that Christmas and Tyler remain up on the block. So Christmas was alone in the patio area, and she says, this blows. I freaking love Tyler so much. She says, that stupid yeller. Because remember, there was that wall yeller that time that said that Christmas and Tyler had a final 2. And she feels like if that didn't happen, they wouldn't be in this situation right now. Which I don't know that that's the case, because people were on to them, especially during Christmas's HOH week when she was having like hours-long conversations with Tyler, convincing him not to go or whatever was happening that week. So yeah, she says, Danny with her freaking not game information, trash. Okay, so then Tyler comes outside and joins her, and he says, it happens to the best of them. We made it far. And Christmas says, this is the greatest top 6 of all time. Ooh. I mean, yes, they were very dominant, but like, I don't know that I would use the word greatest. Dominant, probably, or at least up there. But Tyler says everyone's finished top 3 or better before, so they're all beasts. So Tyler lets Christmas know, I'm not going to throw you under the bus with my campaigning, so if anybody is acting like I am, they're lying. And then the feed's cut from them, so that's fun. Okay, so then Enzo and Cody were in the HOH room a little later, and Enzo says he just really feels like Nicole is going to win this next HOH. She's got a good feeling about it. Her time is coming. And they discuss what Enzo would do if he wins the next HOH. And Enzo says, when I was talking to Memphis about it, I told him that I would put up Christmas and Nicole. But Enzo said he is not sold on actually doing that. He says, I might just have to go ahead and put up Memphis and Christmas and tell Memphis that he's a pawn. And honestly, like, that's what you got to do if you really are riding with Cody and Nicole, which I don't know that that's a great idea, but like, if that's what you're doing, you should put up Christmas and Memphis, because Enzo realizes if Memphis is not up on the block, or I'm sorry, if Memphis is not up on the block and he wins the power veto and saves Christmas, we're effed, because that would mean that Cody and Nicole would have to be up there together, and one of them is going. So Cody says, yeah, it would be me. Like, I would be the one going. Honestly, like, if people were smart, Cody would be the one going. But, like, I don't know 100% that Cody would go if it was up to Memphis. Christmas, yeah. But Memphis, So, yeah. Enzo says that Memphis wants Nicole out next week, but Christmas is going to be going. So then back to this week, Enzo says Tyler's got to go. He's too good at competitions, and he says Nicole is really having a tough time. So it's going to be better for her if Tyler is gone. She'll have an easier time in the competitions. How considerate of him. Okay, so then Tyler checks in with Memphis in the backyard, and Tyler asks, are you going to vote me out? You can tell me, man. You can tell me. And Memphis says, I'm definitely leaning towards voting you out. I do read the chat when I can. Sorry, guys. Like, I do try to, but I try not to get too, like, distracted by it. So anyway, yeah, Memphis says, I'm leaning towards voting you out. It has nothing to do with anything other than you're a beast. and you scare me. So Memphis says, I feel like I need to win the next 2 vetoes if I'm going to make it to the end. And obviously, like, if Tyler is here, it's going to be more difficult for him to win the veto competitions. And Memphis is like, I need to win these because if my ass is on the block, I'm going. And Tyler's like, I don't know about that. I think more people than you think or than you realize want to keep you around. And Tyler says, if I'm being honest, I think you rub people the wrong way in the jury. He says, that's why I wanted to run through this thing with you. But I do think that you can win. So Memphis says, well, people want to keep around players like Enzo and Nicole. They want to drag them to the end because they haven't done much, right? So then Tyler says, yeah, but they're both well-liked in the jury. You know, do you really want to bring somebody like that to the end? What if it's a bitter jury? And Memphis is like, well, I hope that the jury is going to be looking more at game moves than like who they're friends with or who's like a nice person. And Tyler's like, this is new age. Like, people think differently, right? Like, you definitely have to consider more than just gameplay at this point. I'm saying when you're trying to figure out who you're going to bring to the end with you, because those juries, like, they can be very bitter. And people do not respect like the really calculated kind of sketchy gameplay like they used to. So Memphis is like, all right, well, I will let you know when I'm 100% about my decision for sure. But again, he's just concerned about winning those vetoes to get him to the end. And Tyler says, well, think of it this way. I could be like a backup for you. If you don't win the veto and I do, I'll have your back. He says, Davon, Kevin, and David, they're never going to vote for you in the end. Ooh. So he says, I would want to sit next to you in the end. So think about that. And Memphis says, I will think about it. He still seems pretty set on voting Tyler out, but it is an interesting thought. So yeah, we've got 3 days left until the eviction. And at this point, Tyler is still the target. So as of right now, Tyler will be leaving on Thursday. It'll be interesting to see if he can like flip this vote. Cause I mean, he is a very good gamer. Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. I'm thinking like the way that this season has been going, it's probably not going to flip back to Christmas, but yeah. Oh, I hear some footsteps. Hello. Hi. Hello, Mr. Smiles. Okay. I want to thank all of our super chatters so much because you guys are amazing and we couldn't do this without you. So Jody Cortez, thank you so much. Jessica B, thank you so much. Anita Starr, thank you so much. Marilyn Bolton, thank you so much. And Fruit Loop Dingus, love that name. Thank you so much. And they have a question. Would Derek be mad if Cody kept Nicole? Hitman betrayal. I don't think that Derek would be mad if Cody kept Nicole. I think the reason that Derek was, I'm just assuming here, but I think the reason that Derek was mad at Nicole preseason was because he was trying to do all this pre-gaming for Cody, and apparently Nicole was very secretive about if she was going to be on or not, and she lied to him and said no. Of course, that's her story anyway. So I think he was pretty pissed that she could have potentially like thrown a wrench into his plans for Cody. Again, like I'm just assuming here. I don't know that that's true. It's probably not. I don't even know. But that's just my take on it. So I think he would be happy about Cody taking Nicole to the end because they're friends in real life. Like Cody
and Nicole.
And like Nicole and Derek. I think they still talk. So I'm sure he would be fine with that. And I'm sure he would think that Cody would beat Nicole. So, you know, whatever it takes. But yeah.
What about Dan?
I don't know. But thank you again so much for your question and for the support. And thank you, Ed Murray COJ. You are amazing. So awesome. So thank you all so much for being here. It's been a blast as always. And we'll be back tonight for tonight's episode, whenever that's happening.
Whenever.
Oh, God. I don't want to stay up late for this. So we got to see if it's on that other channel. But Bowie! But I'm gonna go now. Yeah. We'll see you all later and tomorrow. And until next time, much love.